so not quite sure what happened there, but the issue is that the board I used and the width of this board, my table saw blade is here, my fence is kind of maxed out for where it can go, so I have to use a different configuration of these. I think this has to get moved to here. This board sits up on top, clamped down, and we're gonna try that. And I use this, it was kind of like a scrap piece of wood, has a good straight edge to it instead of a good board, because, you know, I'm not, first time using, I gotta probably move these clamps around so I find what works. Yep, so this is this extended. He extended this, moved this over, put a piece of steel on the back side so that would catch. So I got 11 3/4 to the inside of the blade, which is what I need to do there. And hopefully this is gonna rip it straight. And I got my blade height enough to get that. Yeah, we're gonna give this one a try, and then maybe tomorrow we'll try the other ones at a different configuration, because I can't go too much wider. I might have to move these in, or I get a narrower board to do this. I'm not sure. To further review of the play in the field, we can see that extension on this end not flat, but on the other end, it is. So this end must have suffered some trauma. Well, let's see what we can do. I think I gotta get to right on this section, and if I put it here, it's gonna tip. So I gotta hold it here and against the fence. All right, what's the further review on the field say? So we got a bunch of burn marks here. And I think some of the issue is I set this foot too low. So when it comes in, it hits, so I had to lift it up. So I think this bottom piece needs to get moved up a little bit so it's riding only on this piece. You know. All right, well, I guess, you know, you try things and see what works. That was marginal. I think little small changes we can try again, but I'm gonna take this downstairs now on the fence with my extended fence downstairs and cut this straight and parallel. All right, well, it was cut pretty straight. That looked pretty good. I might bring that extension out here and try it out here since I'm already set up. do we got? We got 5 1/8. Huh. All right, well, it's looking like it's 5 on this end. How we get an 1/8 off on the other end? I don't know. Oh well. We gotta square up the ends, and that board will be a what board? I don't know. So, you know, with all this contraption on and modifications, what happened last time was that, see, that's a foot, and that's a foot. And last time, the fence was, I don't know which way it was tipped, but it was rotated a bit. So now I lined it up so the fence is parallel with this edge, which should be parallel with the saw blade. Let's make our final cut for 3 1/2. 3 1/2, a bit of it. And this is 3 1/2 right on. All right, gotta clean up the ends, and that'll be another piece for my son's shelf project. All right, here's, let's get to the ends, but here's the one I just did. It's in pretty good shape. So what's my first review of the Rockler clamps? Well, you know, taking into account, you know, equipment, not malfunction, but limitations, right? It's only a 12-inch max. And my dad's, I could get 15, but, you know, his extension table was bent a bit. Operator error, well, maybe not error, but operator unfamiliarity. Some misadjustments here, not really understanding how to set that up perfectly. Wasn't like overly shits and giggles about it. I think it's not because of the fixtures. I think it's just my setup and my inexperience with this. So we got more to try on this. So let's try out the next. Okay, so here's what we have to do next. We got this board, which is I think it's a 8+ inch board. I got maximum 12. I want to put a straight edge on it, like, you know, I'm gonna cut off an inch, so 7. You know, if I did a minimum board here, which is 10, I got 3/4 for a fence. 11. I might be able to do it. All right, but that's gonna be tomorrow. We gotta figure out a different plan to put those things on something else, because this is a longer board. Yeah, well, I guess it was fun playing. Not overly impressed yet. Not the holy grail I was hoping for. And that being said, a lot of it has to do with the limitations of my table saw, right? I could just, you know, it was a $100 table saw back in the day from Kmart. My dad bought it for me when we moved into the house some 40 years ago. Yeah, but I was hoping for a kind of a quick fix for my setup.